All right, so welcome to another awesome episode of Inside the Vault with Ash Cash. I'm excited about our next guest that we have. This is actually our special Valentine's Day Power Couple edition. We have Kirk and Rasheeda Frost in the building. Listen, power couple, they're doing some phenomenal things on all levels, and so we want to get it all in what makes them a power couple. Welcome.
Thank you.
To Inside the Vault.
Having us.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Thank you.
And so I want to start with an intro, right? And not any just intro, right? Because people may feel like they know you, right? But I want to know, who is Kirk Frost? Who is Rasheeda Frost? Anybody go first?
You can start
ahead,
first,
babe.
babe. No. They know you, so we let you kick
they
it
know
off.
you, so don't count like they don't know you. Okay, Rasheeda Frost, yes. Some of y'all who know me from Love and Hip Hop, but if you know me, you know me from Rasheeda the rapper.
Okay.
The Queen of Crunk, the Georgia Peach, and from way back in the day. But just a woman out here, a work in progress, a mom, a wife, an entrepreneur, and ultimately just trying to take over the world.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
All right. Look.
Right.
Look. Yes.
We're making our spot. We're trying to make our spot.
Exactly.
So that's all we
That's
is.
what we trying to
Me,
do.
Kirk Frost, of course, managing Rashida, D-Lo Entertainment, the label. Really behind the scenes. You really wouldn't really know me as long as you knew Rashida. Like, I didn't really come about until loving hip hop to the world, but I was always there before the start of Rashida. And I put my guns behind giving the world Rashida. So, and other artists and other things I do. I mean, besides music, there's a lot we do off to the side, businesses and real estate and
we want all that smoke though. I want all that
so,
smoke. I want all that smoke. And I was doing research and I thought you from Georgia. You from Georgia? You're not from Georgia?
Harlem.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from the city.
Obviously, if you know, like I'm from Harlem, 29th, and and it all makes sense. Frost 117.
Yeah.
There you go. Now you get it right.
That makes sense. Manhattan Ave, money Ave. If you know, you know, right?
There you go.
And so talk to me, right? So you guys been married for a very long time, right? And it takes a lot to trust somebody with business, right? Yes. With your business, with your passion, with what you do, because, as a creative myself in a different realm, it's like, that's like a child, right? I'm a parent as well. So it's like your baby, right? Mm-hmm. And so at what point did you know that you can trust Kirk with like your business, your career, with, what you were doing?
You know what? Because honestly, I started off in a 3-girl rap group way back in the day. And we had been, in the first couple of years, we had already been through like a lot of different situations and little label things we were trying to do. And Kirk was friends with, us and the other girls in the group, with myself and the other girls. And, one day we were just talking about all our problems and stuff. And we was like, man, this bullshit. Can you cuss? Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, this bullshit is too much and we tired of this. These labels ain't doing shit, whatever. And Kirk walked in and one day when we was talking about it, he was just like, you know what? I'm going to start a record label and y'all gonna be my first group. And I was like, okay.
Like that.
Let's see.
Yeah.
But about a week later, the nigga came with the contracts. He was dead serious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we was like, whoa, but he was already our friend.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that was kind of like the beginning. But to answer your question is, he made you feel a sense of security from the beginning. So once we were in the group together and then, 3 girls in the group, it didn't quite work out. And, I was like, hey, I want to continue to move forward. Yep. And he came to me and he was like, listen, you need to write these raps. You need to be serious about what the fuck you're trying to do. And if you're serious about what you're trying to do, I'm going to stand behind you. And 20-some years later, we still going.
Kirk, talk to me about that. That takes a level of surety, a level of confidence. Like, you came with contracts. Like,
I mean, for me, it was like I said, they was my friends.
Yeah.
And the group was the Capers. And I'm gonna be honest with you, they were dope as fuck to me at that point in time. I'm like, yo, and they last for a long time. I'm not gonna say they didn't last. We did amazing things, great things, but again, you had the ear of everybody who were getting left behind always in the group ear trying to separate them. Don't take them out of town. They be gone for 2-3 weeks, 3 months. So we was going to LA recording, doing all kind of shit. And people were getting mad because they were getting left. So then you start to get people trying to pry us away from each other. I'm gonna be honest with you, that point in time was like a difficult time for me because these were my friends, also became business partners. Like, yo, I'm putting money behind y'all, and I'm talking serious money.
Yep.
You know, when we was in the era doing that in the beginning, it cost, a studio was reel to reel. It was 24-inch reels. It was to shoot a video, it was 35 millimeter. You know, you couldn't shoot a video under 50, 60,000. My first video was 125,000. And I had 3 girls that had to be styled, hair, makeup. So I was really in it like we about to blow the roof off this joint. They had the billboards going 85 South, 85 North. First rap group, female nor men, they first ones with all this. They had every magazine, Source, Hype, Hair, what was the other joint?
Hits magazine.
Everything that was out, I was putting them in. Anything smoking, I wanted them on the cover. Some covers you couldn't even get. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to buy that Vibe. Was it the Vibe? I was like, let me get the cover. I wanted the cover.
Right.
You know, and I was just so into them, and I was just so amazed at what they were doing, the style, the way they dressed. And, you know, 2 years into it, and maybe, you know, as the album came out, you know, it took a while to get the album out. It took like 3-4 years to get that album out. Seriously, it was a 3-4 year project. But when the album came out and the videos hit and Rap City and everybody wanting to work with them, and now they feeling themselves and they getting hot, and the friends begin to take over. The typical what you see began to happen. And it was hurtful for me at that point in time. And the group actually came back with high-ass demands before, like, yo, we put out 2 singles and I decided let's move to the next album, you know. And the group was like, yo, we want this much advance. I'm advancing cars. I'm advancing all kind of shit. And I really got my feelings hurt. Just keeping it 100.
Yeah.
So I had to regroup, figure it out. She wanted to keep going in music, and I told her, listen. And it was writers at that point in time. This guy writing the lyrics, they got to get it, they got to learn it. It took really long to get a song done at that time. And I told Rashida, if you want to continue doing music, there is no way I will move forward if you can't write your own raps. Shit is just not for me.
Yeah.
You got to write your own shit or else it's dead with me. And that was it. I mean, immediately, we went straight into the studio. I had D-Lo Studios at this point in time, by the way. I had decided, when I did it, I really did it. I went and got the location, built a full-fledged studio. I was cutting all kinds of deals with all the major labels, getting budgets. Everybody, the whole Atlanta was coming through the joint. So I was in the shit to win.
Wow. And I want to ask about that, right? Like, is this your first group? Like, you're putting a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort. One, is this your first group? 2, did you believe in them that much that you was like, listen, I'm betting on them?
I knew he was gonna win. That's like I just knew it. I was just watching and I seen what they was doing, and I was looking at what's going on, and you know, at that point in time, and you in a transition, you know, you hanging around cats who in the industry and they riding in their cars and shit, and at that point in time, I'm hiding my shit in the storage.
Right.
You know, I got to get to my shit before 9.
Right.
Or I can't even bring that joint out Friday. Or so, you know, I got to wait till the next day.
Right.
So it's 112 popping. Everybody in town, and guess what? I'm stuck in the hoopty because my shit in storage.
Yeah.
And I really started looking like, wait a minute, y'all could just drive around and like, y'all could just roll, like, y'all ain't got to be low key, nothing.
Yeah.
And it made me look at rappers like, damn. Y'all got it made.
Right.
Nah, I'm about to be on this shit right here.
Right.
This shit's safer. So
Yeah.
that was my intent at the point in time. I was like, you know what? I'm going to transfer myself from here and actually get myself over here.
Yep.
You know, just seeing, you know, being from New York at my age, I've seen a lot. You know, 14, you 20 at 14.
For sure. Big facts.
You know, at 18, you couldn't even believe that you made it to 18. So
if you know, absolutely.
And I was like, you know, so for me seeing it, so when I came to Atlanta and doing all the stuff with the group, yes, I totally believed in them because they had a swag about them. Yo, they just had a look.
Yep.
They had style. They already had a few raps going, but they just didn't have nobody who really believed in them. I'm like, shit, well, we gonna build it from here and keep going. We gonna hit something. We gonna hit a lick. And I was hoping that they could just be solid enough to not get tore apart. That was more, please don't get tore apart. So
Yeah.
I got hurt.
Yeah.
I say this to this day. I was hurt like a little bitch.
Yeah.
Seriously. That shit hurt my feelings.
Nah, for sure. Especially if you believe in somebody, you put, like you said, billboards, you put so much in. Did that, Rasheeda, did it make you go harder? Like what was, like, the fact that somebody not only, like, believed in you from a mouthpiece perspective, but, like, listen, I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. Like, how did that feel to you to see someone so much, that invested in you and your career?
It was really dope, honestly, because what it did was he made me work hard. And a lot of times you don't see that. People don't do that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they just want shit handed to them. I could have continued to have people write raps for me and do music and did it that way. But him having the say so, to being real with me and just saying, hey, learn how to write your raps. We're going to do this. We're going to do it like that. You do this, I'm going to do this. So it left the ball in my court. So once I did that, he was like, boom, I got you, let's go.
Yeah.
And it helped me build and grow. It helped me to learn how to write music and do everything that I was able to do. Had he not did that, who's to say I would have pushed to do it, because we were being fed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it really worked hand in hand, and we became a really dope team. Like, the thing, people may say whatever they want to say, but when it comes to, like, sitting, listening to music and writing music, I can write an R&B song, a goddamn rap. I can write a rap for a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing to me to do that.
Yeah.
But he was the one who pushed me to do that. And it's like riding a bike. I haven't done music in a long time, but if I go in the studio and hear a beat, I can write a song to
write
it.
some bars. Yeah.
I mean, it was really great.
Yeah. That's awesome. And then, so now fast forward, multiple businesses, some stuff that people see, pressed, cosmetic line, like, so, construction, real estate, like, there's so much going on. And you guys are doing it as a couple. Talk to me about that dynamic, right? The dynamic of doing business, not, you friends, soulmates, parents, right? Business partner, that's a lot of different things to juggle, right? And so talk to me about that dynamic. How do you manage that dynamic? How is that dynamic? And, just that, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a whole lot. And it's a blessing, I will say, to be able to do all of these things with your partner. And y'all, it's days shit be
for sure
raggedy. You know what I'm saying? And we be going at it. But at the end of the day, when we set goals together, and we achieve those goals together. And when that manifests, that's just like the most beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? And we're not talkers, talk, and no action. It's talk, action, result. Boom. And that's what we do. And I really love that. Just like right now, I'm into fashion. You can tell he's really not. You know what I'm saying? But it's okay, because he was at the construction site today because we're working on our new building that we just bought. I ain't trying to throw you on the bus.
No, I'm about to say, but he still look a little fresh though.
Literally
I don't
just
have a problem with it, because
Right.
I'm literally, in the middle of literally trying to get another business open, because guess what? And I'm just being honest, I have a mortgage coming up.
Right.
And this business is not making any money. So
we gotta
I need to hurry things up. So when you let guys just sit here on an hour clock, you don't come around, you begin to lose money. So for me, and I want to back up a little bit, everything I do, there's a plan. There's not just a goal out and just go for it. So if you back it up, we have a vision board, things that we want, things we want to see manifest, and it's been up since probably 99 or maybe 2000.
Wow.
I don't know the exact, it's still sitting in our old house. We still have that very same house. We haven't lived in it in 7 or 8 years. Every piece of furniture is still there, all the clothes, we just left it like it is. We get it clean. And I need to upgrade some stuff in there, but I leave it there because that one studio in that room right there made me the most independent money I think I had ever ran across. And I feel like it's just something there with that house. The land and the whole setup, because it was able to get us to clear your mind. But the vision board on what we want. She wanted $1 million. I wanted to open a sports bar. I also was doing real estate, and you know, we were rehabbing houses, very nice houses at this point. We started with some raggedy ones, but then we immediately went straight to Buckhead, Pacers Ferry Road, the big boy joints. So I'm in there, you know, now I'm doing the big ones, and I'm like, okay, the money is so much greater. Now I still have a studio, and I got 400 grand coming in off a flip, and I'm looking like, wait a minute, studio, I work all year and hope to clear that, and I can flip. And then I start thinking, you know what? We need to sell the studio and get more into this and stick to the rap and just go use people. We got studios at home. Let's just do that. So then we wound up selling that studio, and we started doing the houses more frequently, and we started making a gang of money. I'm talking about we rolling. Everything is good. We in the Bentleys and you know, you living like you want to live. And here comes 2006, 7, economy crash. Fucked everything up. So it was like, damn. You know, the vision board is still there on. It's like things she had on there, things I got. It's like 20 things. But if I speed up to today, out of all of my 10, I've probably accomplished everything except 2. And I'm gonna be honest with it. And them 2, still to this day, I still need to get. And one of them is me having. I'm never gonna not say this.
What hit?
A number one
record.
Number 1, not number 2, not number 3. I feel like I put so many years in it. I'm 25 years in the game. I feel like she owed me a number 1 record.
The pressure.
Look.
The goddamn pressure.
Pressure bust pipes or make diamonds. What you gonna do?
Let me tell you why. I feel like Rashida has carried a fan. A lot of people don't realize that Rashida was a very, 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 very important bridge until you got to a Nicki Minaj or a Cardi. Like, there was no female rap. Rashida was the only thing smoking in the South. Luda got Shauna, put her with the guys. That started bringing some life back in it. But independently, no label, busting your ass, coming with Do It, number 6. Not number 1, number 6. Independent. I was happy with 6. But I wanted number 1. You know? And then I realized, maybe let me let the major get in. Every time I got with a major, they would fuck my project up. And I would get hurt again. And it's just the feelings, you know, and seeing her, the attachment, you know, the relationship, seeing her hurt because her record went to shit. I'm hurt because my record is now going the opposite way because I took a $300,000 advance and they didn't give a fuck. They wanted to move you out the way to push their artists.
Of course.
So then you learned that the game was really not, that's why it's a game. They will just get you, shelf your ass, but push what they really want. So you out my way. So then I started learning that, and then it made me start saying, you know what? And I did that shit like 3 times. You know, the money got a little funny. It was a recession. It wasn't all these internet apps out. It wasn't no fucking, you know how it is now. It wasn't like that. So you had to try to connect the dots. And I think the next connect the dots was the mixtapes came. And it was just
real talk. I have to say about myself, I was one of the most consistent female rappers. When I tell you, I dropped mixtape after mixtape after mixtape, like a nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, period.
And those shits were paying the bills. When I say we stayed booked, we probably was booked
real
for 12
underground female.
to 14 years. Non-stop booking every fucking weekend.
You know, and people say, you never had a big hit, you never had... Once you understand the business, that shit ain't even about that. Even though I did have a...
You want to be paid or you want to be popular?
Exactly. You want to be paid or popular.
And for me, I used to tell people...
And I'm still paid off of my music. Because we own it.
This is what I used to always tell her. We're not going to get into those conversations with these people who... your masters are owned by your label. You own nothing. But for me, I never respected that. Number 1, I was like, first of all, I'm going to start with Vibrate. When I did do the deal with Jive and gave it to Petey Pablo for his second single, what he had, Freak League first? Keep in mind, we kept a certain percentage of the publishing. So anything that happened with the record, number 1, I knew they was going to push it further, but I knew we was going to eat off it. But that record went on the first PSPs, was shipped 1 million copies. We don't even need to get into the numbers.
Right.
If you know what happened right then and there.
Absolutely.
That actually launched us into them taking that record, putting it on Robin Big, United States of Terror, Lincoln Heights. I mean, we just started getting all these movie placements out of nowhere. It just came like crazy. So now they came and they needed a record. It was like 2, 3 in the morning, and this person from Sony kept blowing my phone up. Rashida got a record out now, My Bubblegum. This is off a mixtape, a record I had. She didn't want to do the record. The only reason she did this record because me and the guy named Jacob said, we're going to get this shit to Kaya.
Okay.
You don't want to do.
No,
Was it
it
Kaya?
wasn't Kaya.
Who was it?
It was Gangsta Boo.
Gangsta Boo. We was gonna
And
get
I was
it.
like,
We had
I
to
ain't
trick
wrote this
her.
song. Y'all gonna get them
So
take my song
we
and
had
give
to
it to
trick
somebody?
her, say, if you don't record this record, we giving this shit to another female.
Yeah.
This shit is gonna go.
Yeah.
She did not want to do this record, right? And this is the record that really took us into real money.
Yep.
Independently. And that record is platinum. Independently.
More of the story. Listen
Yeah.
to Kirk. No, it's like
So,
For real.
so
I give her that
the
mark.
movie is coming out and it's called Mall Cop, Paul Blart Mall Cop. Now we getting all these movie placements and they just keep
And
hitting
TV
us.
shows
TV
and
shows, they
shit
just
all the
keep
time.
needing licenses. So it's 2 a.m, we running into a jam, we can't get this shit licensed. Could you have it done by 10 o'clock in the morning? I'm gonna do better than that, you're gonna have it by 5. Read through the contract, no lawyer, nothing like this, signed off. I got $8,000 for her and $8,000 because I was a label. So we was just, low money.
Yeah.
But then when this big record came, it was like, I was scared to do the Sony paperwork because it was so thick. Usually the deals was like 2-3 pages.
Yeah.
I could handle it. This thick one came. It was $85,000 was the advance on the record. So the label get $85 for being the publisher, and the artist get their percentage for being the artist and the writer. So I said, fuck it. I'm gonna let it was a publishing company we was dealing with, Honey Pot or something like that. I said, I'm gonna let them help me facilitate it because I'm gonna be honest. Greenberg Drug at that point in
Yeah.
time? The fucking bill be higher. You do a deal, 300, you owe 27,000.
Right.
You owe so much. So I
Right.
let the publishing company do it for me.
Yeah.
But the record came out, we did the deal, I got them the record back. 2 days, they wanted it back in 2 days, I made them speed through it. We got the bread immediately. Movie come out, #1. 3 weeks in a row. I'm sitting here, I don't even know what the fuck going on. I know we on MySpace at that time.
Yeah,
the record is
And
getting
this shit is
the
just like
most
fucking
plays
blowing up. It's
ever.
like every page you go to is like, don't type
it's,
of there you
it's just going
Every
crazy.
girl.
And when this came out, the single was my single, and my phone rang. It was like, yo, you about to come in #1 this week for most singles. And you had to sell the
Right.
ringtones and the
Right,
singles.
right.
They're like 100 and something thousand the first week.
Yeah.
Independent. It wasn't a lot of money, but
Right.
again, 70 cents on that dollar meant a lot to us.
Absolutely, yeah.
That was the first week. Second week, 70 something thousand, and it's just going, and it's just going and going and going. And I'm sitting here like, yo, now everybody wanted to license my bubble gum. So now I got like probably, I don't want to exaggerate. How many licenses you think I did on that record?
A lot.
I mean, we could look it up.
Right.
We licensed the fuck out of
Wow.
it. It was in so many different movies, and then that became, we licensed so many songs after that. And that was the start of us learning we didn't have to be in the front of the cameras.
right.
We could sit back and begin to make the
collect
money.
money.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we started doing that. And that's what really made my accounts move forward.
It did. And then to actually answer his question, as we did that and things, we were still doing, I was still doing music and all that. But the game started changing, of course, with digital and all this different stuff that was going on, streaming and all of that. And then this reality TV shit started coming about. You know what I'm saying? And the thing was, we would be looking at, like the Love and Hip Hop on New York and was like, yo, this shit was dope when it first came out. We was like, this shit lit. You know that?
Yeah.
They were doing a Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And I was like, man, that shit might be kind of hard. You think, what you think? We was just talking about it. And a couple of people had referred me to Love and Hip Hop. And I was like, I don't know, but we always been the type of people, and I do want to say this, to still not just put all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
You got to understand to just do different things because you need different streams. You need to stay ahead of the game. Shit don't stay the same all the time. And you got to be ready to move when it's time to move. So when the reality TV thing started coming about, we was like, this might be a move we need to get into because this is looking like it's starting to be the next big shit.
Thing, right.
The new label.
Yeah,
new
like
music.
the new music industry almost, you know?
Yeah.
So we kind of back and forth about it. And then when they started, casting and talking about Love and Hip Hop, we was like, let's just give it a shot. Let's see how it happens. And landed some meetings and
Wow.
that's
So
how that
I
ended up
want
coming
to unpack a few things, right? So #1, for all my viewers out there, so y'all can understand, #1, ownership is very, very important, right? #2, multiple streams of income, very, very important,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And then also, multiple streams of income doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do multiple things. You could take the one thing and keep flipping that, right? So you get paid off the records, you get paid off the tours, you get paid off the mixtape, you get paid off licensing. So you could do multiple streams of income from one thing.
Yep. And I left something out.
Yeah.
Us doing the mixtapes, going to the music and running, we also started thinking, yo, these white groups be selling like rock t-shirts and
shit.
paraphernalia.
Everywhere they go.
And we was like, yo, why don't we get, you got all these sayings. Every time she said something, it would always resonate and become a saying like everywhere.
Girls would say, and they would always say stuff back to me all the time. Yeah. And this was when MySpace was, popular. So then I would get on MySpace, I would talk to people, and girls that hit me with, you know how now niggas be looking for a caption. Right. But at that time in MySpace, people would hit you and send me a message, and it'd be some of my lyrics or little slogans or little shit, I would say. Right. And me and Kirk was like, man, we need to goddamn...
Take that shit out. We on the road. Let's take t-shirts.
And bracelets
wristbands,
and shit,
bracelets, let's
whatever,
start. So we start selling it, and we would be going like every weekend. We would be like, damn, we ain't got enough t-shirts, we ain't got enough wristbands, we ain't got enough mixed CDs, because even when they were like, let's sign, we would sell the CD and she would sign it and take a picture with it. Yep. So again, it wasn't just take a picture with Rashida. It was you would get the CD we had with us. So we would hit clubs up and get off 150, 60
and that
CDs
was the
in
time
every
when shit was
city.
like, you had to like grind for your shit.
I
was in the goddamn hole in the wall and down who knows where, somewhere,
every city,
all the way to big arenas,
city.
In cities all the time, but you had to like really work for that shit.
And let me tell you what I do when we get there.
Yeah.
We check in the hotel, we get on pack, we do this, I go look at the club, we do a sound check.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm mindful when we doing the sound check, I'm scoping the venue out.
Yeah.
Where I'm gonna put the promotion at. I would put we had calendars with her with a dope picture. I would put them on every table. I would have her sign some just to make sure everybody took them home and put them on the wall.
And nigga, you'll see the people in the crowd.
Everywhere.
I have them rolled up, holding them shits up.
My thing was to leave a mark in every city we in, because I'm like, we had to organically plant these roots for them to grow.
Right.
And that's what made us start I'm Bossy, which is now Press.
Yes.
So we was selling things on the road every week, and we couldn't even keep enough material. Then they would have these things in Atlanta, they still do them, like Bonner Brothers and the shows. And when we would go to them, it was people who were known, who were on TV, who was doing all kind of shit. But when little old Rashida, who was still not as big, we would have this one booth, and that shit, the line would be so long.
Wow.
And people would be like, what the fuck are they selling? What they doing?
Yeah.
T-shirts and bracelets.
It was all the work that we had been putting in for so long, and they finally could get to see her stand in one place. And I mean, lyric for lyric, she would go there and they would know every line, do every line for line. We was doing all the summer jams, all the radio shows. They wanted Rashida. We would be doing it would be a show in Augusta, one in Columbus, and one in
Macon.
You had to drive, boop. They all be on the same day.
Right.
So we had to jump in the car and make it to this one. We had to get on the stage at a Pacific time, because I knew the minutes we would be she would be booked at all of these shits.
Yeah.
But we would work the crowd. I mean, when I say we really put in that old school real work to be where we at, that's why she don't like rapping no more as much as she did, because we had to work so hard.
When you start seeing coins coming from another direction, and you ain't got to go in the trenches, you be like, shit. I still work hard. Don't get it twisted at all.
Absolutely.
But it's just
it's different, right? Because and that, I mean, so a couple of things. I love this story, right? Because I think a lot of times people look up and they say, they see you on television, or they see this level of success, and they just think, if it wasn't for this, right? Yeah. But what it is, like, y'all been grinding, like y'all put in the work, y'all put in the 10,000 hours. Like if you read Malcolm Gladwell, he talk about like to become an expert, you got to put 10,000 hours. You put in the 10,000 hours, y'all just seeing it now, but the work has been done.
The work has been
done. Let me tell you, this is another thing we always say. I remember we lived in this one house. I was in what was the Washley Court? I mean, we was in there, I had another studio, and we were just talking one day, and I was just like, what if you had to stay in the music industry for 8 to 10 years before anybody know you? Would you take 8 to 10 years of your life and do it? It was like me and the Capers in the group, and we was like, hell no, not no 10 years. You got to pay me now. But you know, that whole time, I never really realized we were doing it as we were talking.
Right.
And it took about 10 years to even get to the point of that record, you know, just even having that buzz where people care who you were. And to say this, 10,000 hours, I'm 24 years in. Like, I'm talking about like hard, getting rejected, getting the hate. They don't want to, you know, you can't, like, people can say anything on the record now. Rashida would just say, the type of girl, you want to chew on my bubble gum. I got to edit because she said bend over and touch my toes. You want to see me bend over. Bend over.
Like, what's
Why
up?
do I have
Why
to
I gotta
edit bend
that?
over?
Now shit.
You know, it's like, so we used to get so much shit thrown at us because they wanted to pick, but the records would be so organically strong in the clubs and the streets that they just had to put the shit in rotation. And you know, there's a lot of stuff that blocked you. There's a lot of people that was in power that blocked things, and we went other routes and went to bigger cities and became #1 records in Houston, Dallas. That's why we got a store in Houston.
And
That's
to be
why we're
honest
strong
with
in
you,
Dallas.
those are the signs and the things that you go through in order to get where you're at. You know what I'm saying? It took people to say certain things or do certain rejection in certain places, and you know, doors to be closed in your face in order for you to step into your purpose.
Wait. So you're saying that rejection, adversity, obstacles is part of success. That's what you're saying.
Character.
Of course.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's totally a part of success. So, okay, everything you do, you win in. How do you know that it's not possible? You know what I'm saying? How do you build yourself? How do you understand? How do you know? How do you experience the things, know what to do? Just like I tell him, I be like, when we go through different things, even like now, when there's certain things that come at us, I'd be like, you know why I'm not worried about that? Because I've already been through this shit. Like, when somebody has something embedded in them, it's just like riding a bike. A nigga can't, you're not gonna have a bike put in front of you, you're not gonna get on that shit and ride.
Big facts, yeah.
Because it's embedded in you already. There's certain things that are just embedded in us, and we're going to persevere. Despite, also on top of that, because we believe in God and we know that through this shit, we're gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's just like, you have to deal with those things. Those things are gonna show you and teach you so much. And that's what people gotta understand.
Wow. And I wanted to make sure people caught that, because, you know, again, I think that, you know, inside the vault, we want to give people the blueprint to wealth, like sustainable wealth, right? And so understanding that adversity, like, don't stop because you fail. Just know what you got to do different to keep going.
And have patience. Chill your ass out. Like, nowadays, people they just want shit. They just want to stand in front of there and be dripped out. And they don't want to do a lick of work for that shit. It's like, that's what you want? No, bruh. To be real in it and to stay consistent in it and to win in it and have longevity, you got to put in some work for that shit. Some people here and there may get some stuff handed to them. You know what I'm saying? We know that. But for real, it's like, you said 10,000 hours. I'm like, shit, that's it?
Right.
Shit, I feel like it's been more than that. You know what I'm saying?
It takes some work.
It takes work to do that.
Going back to the Cape, think about it. I wanted them to be known so bad. Remember, I put the stickers all up and down on National, all through
some of them
Linux,
shit's still up there.
Yo, I had caper stickers everywhere, all off the highway. I was just plastering the city, right? I got a phone call. City of Atlanta told me, you got 3 days to get it down, and we're gonna fine your ass 50,000. Back then. So you already know I'm panicking. I'm got every dude. We had the mean street team. We was killing it. The stop sign. We had the octagon. We would put the stop sign over the stop sign. Yo, what was that song? Do It at that point. It was what? Come on, do it. When we went to Miami, Little John came down and he was like, "Yo, who the promotion?" Like, I was like, "Me." You go down. What's this shit? Collins
and Ocean,
in Ocean. Every car, I had the octagon do it on every windshield. So I had a big stops, yellow and black, all the way down to just as far as you can go. So they was like, who's doing the promotion? I was like, me. And Eve was out there. Was it Eve?
I
was
so.
Eve. I had a few friends, Cross, that were Rough Riders and stuff. We was walking around everywhere. I was just walking with them. It's like, yo, everywhere y'all go, the shit is who doing it? I was like, it was me. I got up early and late. I was just
that's a part of putting in them 10,000 hours.
But where does that hustle come from, though, right? Because like you know, marketing, promotion, it actually, there's a lot of times what stop people, there's a level of like fear, right? And so like you going hard. Like where does that come from?
What it is? I'm gonna be that was New York. For
Yeah.
me. That's Harlem. That was me. You know, being a go-getter. You know, we was. I just came up in an era of being able to go get it.
Yeah.
So I don't really know nothing but going to get it. And to me, at that point in time, it's like now, Instagram is everybody go get it. If they could flex on Instagram, they're getting it. But when we came from, you had to really physically take the product and put it there and make Instagram connect every block, every city, every town. So that's what I know. So for me to do it, when people come out, guess what? Everybody going out to 112 and it's whatever. What's weekend? It's All-Star weekend. Mm-hmm. When they come in town, I need them to see all Rashida shit because all y'all coming in to our city and y'all gonna be from all these cities. I need Rashida shit flooded in every hood, every club, the best, the top, the bottom. So I always
and
took
you would always be like, if they don't know you, they gonna know you. If they do know you, they gonna be sick of seeing you. And that's what, and that's the truth.
And that's what I want.
And it was your passion, though.
Yeah, and I just wanted to keep going because I was like, I used to look at people and be like, but he not better than me, so how is he, you know? Like, I'm just being real. But then I didn't realize, like, okay, you got to really sell out to go this way. You got to sell your soul. You got to give up everything. For them to get behind you the way I wanted, they had to own it. And you had to be the slave to the rhythm. And, you know, I'm, from where I come from, I got to own it, you know? So, you know, and that's the passion in me to say, you know what, I'm not really with all of that. Y'all take everything, leave us out here to dry out and rot. Because guess what? To this day, we don't have to work because we still own 5 Rashida albums. They're playing on YouTube and Spotify and it's
and
so
it did help
many.
that Marry Me went fucking viral.
Oh, yeah,
on TikTok. That shit is like old as hell. And I
8 years
was
later,
like, hey,
that shit,
I'll take those chicks, buddy. Thank you.
That was like 8 years ago single that just came out and did millions and millions and millions
of fucking streams.
Again, that was just a blessing. So
So ownership is
it's key, man. Let's look at it. Marry Me just made us several hundreds of thousands of dollars out of nowhere.
Which has flipped us to the present of, you know, owning real estate, owning, you know, going into businesses and like we have pressed. And, you know, one thing when we started retail, and I want to tell this story because a lot of people got to see some of this journey, which was, you know, me and Kirk backing and forth, and then, you know, the website I'm Bossy at that was the name at that time, starting in my dining room, and us sitting in the dining room, literally waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning and doing packages every single day until 5 o'clock when the post office closed. And my stepdaughter came and worked, and she had to be at work at 8:30 in the morning, and, you know, clock in and work and ship all this shit out. And, you know, and then on all of that, and then us saying, you know what, now's the time since we've gained this base out of going places. And let's just keep it funky. When I started the website, I would take a bag of shit to the goddamn Mexican on Old National, and I would sell bracelets and earrings and all that shit out of my car, just like you sell CDs out your car, because we still had that mentality of hit the streets, get it hand to hand, you know, get it to people. We started printing up T-shirts with the sayings on them, taking them. We had the Mexican, we had the goddamn, what's the
Mexican
other
is a restaurant.
You know,
like
the Mexican restaurant, right when you get off on Old National, but that shit would be lit.
So we would go lit. Everybody would be there. We would go sell all the Rashida shit.
All that shit. Yo, selling all of it, right? So, you know, and that's the thing I'm talking about when things is embedded in you. You know how to hustle. And we would do that. And, you know, we started in our home, and then we said, okay, you know what? Finally, we built up this customer base. We said we need to have 50,000 customers before we even decide we want to open up a store, and we backed and forth about it. Then you got to understand location is important and moving the FIPS. And us finally getting the opportunity after looking all around Atlanta in different places, you know, and certain places we wanted to go, like the shops of Buckhead, they was like, oh no, we would never, we don't want that type of, long story short. We lived over there, but long story short, they ended up calling me a couple years later because wasn't nobody ass over there. But going to FIPS, and then the little hurdle at that was, well, you know, we'll let you guys open up your, you know, have your store in our mall, but we need you to change the name. And then, you know, when you didn't hustle some shit and you done built a brand, and I'm bossy, I'm a boss, and, you know, Rashida the boss chick, and you done made this whole thing, and they telling you need to change your name. You like,
what?
Oh, my heart sunk in my chest. I'm like, Lord, no, all this hard working years. But I wanted to be in FIPS because I felt like this is the epitome of fashion, luxury. This is the top notch. I mean, where you gonna go from here?
Right,
Type
right,
of thing.
yeah.
So we had to pray on it, you know what I'm saying? And pray on it, pray on it. And I was just like, you know what? Man, forget the shit, man. Let's just change the name. Let's just step out on faith and hope that it works. And you know, and that's another thing I want to stem back to. The obstacles. Sometimes those obstacles, those things that come in front of you that you feel like, oh, they fucking with me. They're trying to make me like push my brand name to the side that I built. No, actually, it was time for me to elevate. Yes, I'm a boss chick. That's cool. But pressed sounds more longevity and more just leveled up.
Yep,
You know what I'm saying? So I had to take that to the chin and be like, you know what? Realize what it is. And it was really him who was like, you know what, Rashida, fuck that. We work hard. We got this, you know? And I was like, yeah, we do. And that's one part about it. You change your name, you change your business. Then I'm like, how do you connect and everybody realize now it's a new name after you've built this for so long? And we was actually able to do it, which was a blessing. And of course, with being on television, but some people didn't know that part of the story. Real understanding like, damn, you know, we've had our website, Bossy started 11 years ago. This was before it wasn't 100 million damn clothing websites. It was hardly any. You know what I'm saying? And it costs, and it costs a lot of money to get a site built and all that type of stuff. So we've been doing this shit. And then when you make that transition and we were able to make it and make it smooth, and then we opened up this retail store, Pressed, and this, you know, become this really big household name, like that's a blessing, but it took a lot of hard work and dedication. And sometimes some people look at things like, nah, I wouldn't have did that. I wouldn't have did this. But then look at what happens when you just sit back, think, and then say, okay.
Let me add this and you keep going. But when you type in imbossy.com, it still take you to Press.
Yes.
Continue.
Yes,
We didn't just drop it.
We didn't just drop it. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, it was a transition that we had to make that ended up being good, you know?
Yeah. And speaking of transitions, right? Again, how do you balance it all, right? So now we, you know, from a business perspective, we know like that's embedded in y'all, right? Like, you know, like this is who y'all are, fabric, lose it all today, you gain them all tomorrow. Because, and I always say this, right? And this is, I want people to understand the mindset, right? You know, the reason why, you know, you take somebody who win the lottery, they lose the money in 5 years is not because it's not money, right? It's because they have a poor mentality. And that poor mentality is gonna make them who they are, which is that poor mentality. You take somebody who's super duper wealthy and you take it all from them, they're gonna make it back. Why? Because it's their because you don't need $1 million in the bank account to be a millionaire. It's the mindset first, and then you get that, right?
Exactly.
And so that's who you are. But from a relationship standpoint, right? Being husband and wife, that's one relationship. Being friends, another relationship, right? Being parents, another relationship. So it's different dynamics, right? And so we got the business aspect. How do you navigate making sure y'all still husband and wife, making sure y'all still the best parents y'all could be, making sure y'all still friends, right? Soulmate is, that's it. You could go through whatever.
Right.
That's your soulmate. So we work on it, done on that.
In time, you're gonna learn how, because again, first of all, friends. That's important. If you're friends, you're going to be able to get through a lot. Even if we disagree and we're mad at each other, the business is going to make us talk to each other.
Yeah,
because I can't make a certain kind of decision.
Get your ass. I want to talk to your ass. Did you pay that bill?
Right.
Did you order the chicken wings?
Did you get the shit? Because guess what?
Did you get the steaks?
If she didn't order the clothes,
Did you get the clothes?
And we need 150 of these pieces, and we know that the weekend's coming up. If we don't have it, I'm going to lose money. She's going to lose money. The company's going to lose money. We're going to wind up digging in money that we shouldn't be touching because we're fucking mad at each other. So you're going to learn that shit real quick. Fuck your attitude.
We've been doing this so long that we have it down, but it can be difficult. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta, it comes to points sometimes where you gotta be like, okay, nigga, it's QT time. Put the phone down. Shut that shit down. We'll talk to them niggas later. Let's chill. You know, or let's go away, or let's just sit in the house with us in the bed. We ain't going nowhere, and we just gonna relax. Let's watch a movie. We don't want to do, you know, and it's just those small things sometimes that you just need. You know, and you know, even with the kids, it's just like, you know, I'm a businesswoman. I'm not cooking dinner all the time, but I have to like make time to be like, let me make sure I cook a meal for my family and we sit down together. Which I want to say, even with COVID, you know, it's devastating. It was crazy, but it was also like really much needed time for people like us. Like we sat and we literally like were in each other's faces so much,
Yes.
but we ended up enjoying
Absolutely.
being in that place because we boom, in 50 different directions.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, a part of that whole situation was a good thing for us, you know?
Dope. And then so I love that, right? Because it, you know, the business pushes that together, the parenting, and so how do you, you know, again, right, navigating energy, right? And let me tell you what I mean by that, because you know, energy is everything. Like energy is everything. And then once you become a public figure, people start forgetting like you were like a human being, like a regular person, right? And so now there's this energy where people all in your business, people know more than you. They know about more than Rashida than she know about Rashida. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so how do you manage? You know, and there's nothing regular about y'all, right? And so I use this word regular in a way to say, you know, how do you manage trying to be just regular when you're in the public eye, when your business is out there, where, you know, there are energies out there who will try to infiltrate the bond that y'all have? Like, how do you manage that part of the process?
You want to start?
For me, I'm gonna be honest. You gotta be built tough. That's number one. If you're not built tough, I mean, that don't wake up and be like, I'm built tough. I mean, there's a process to it.
Yeah.
You have to go through things. You're gonna have problems. You're gonna have things that have happened. You know, you have to develop that tough skin. I mean, you can't. I mean, there was time I used to be on my phone and motherfuckers don't know who the fuck they talking to.
Right.
I'm about to go.
Right.
Motherfucking VH1 called me and say, take Kirk phone. Delete all that shit he just said. Threatening people back over there. Okay. I'm really like going like, do you know who you talking to?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
because people tend to forget, but you know what? We're kind of good at now.
Yeah, it's
and you
like
know,
I had to learn.
You know, things will still get to you at times just because you're a human being.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think realistically, we have grown a tough skin because for real, it's like people sit at home and they sit behind their phones and their computers, and some people live to just try to, you know, knock people down. You know what I'm saying? And I've come to realize that because as long as we've been in the industry, so much shit is so not true that I can laugh at that shit because I'd be like, and if you believe it, you a dummy with them. That's how I really be feeling with people.
If you say, build yourself to prepare for the takedown, because that's what it is.
And that's true.
You've heard it before. Build you up to tear you down.
Right.
Don't worry about the buildup is going to come, but how do you handle the takedown? Do you let them take you down? Do you mentally let it get to you? Right. Do you even give them the energy?
Or do you withstand your ground, hold your goddamn head up and keep it pushing? And that's really what the thing is, because for real, like my family is what matters to me. It's important. And don't get me wrong, I love, you know, all of my supporters and every single thing. Don't ever get it twisted. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I'm secure in who I am as a woman and as a person. And, you know, I know my wealth, my what I bring to the table. Yep. I know all of these things, and nothing somebody else is gonna say is gonna ever defer me from that shit. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what you see. I'm human. What? Yeah, we have problems, nigga. Who don't? Nigga, ask your mama and your granddaddy and your grandmama. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever. But at the end of the day, do you get through your situations and grow and learn, or do you let that shit defeat you and you sitting in a hole miserable like the nigga sitting behind the computer talking about you? You get what I'm saying? Or on their phone or whatever it is, you know. So you do have to understand those things. And one thing I will say is that Kirk and I are good about I always call us the yin and the yang. He's an Aquarius, I'm a Gemini, we're Gemini. I'm the turn up, outgoing, goddamn, we finna go get this money, we going to buy it. And he's like, hold on, Rashida, wait a second, let's add this shit up.
That's a Harlem that's a Harlem too, though. You know what I'm saying?
But, you know, that's such a good thing because if I'm here and he's here, we can come here. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And that's a blessing. But when it comes to, you know, then you're bringing in the known celebrity part of things. And that comes into play for us to still have that sense of understanding the levels of us just being like, okay, we got this, we understand it, we on the same page, we get this, we go into situations. When we started on Love and Hip Hop, we said, you know what, we're going to use this platform to the best of our fucking capability,
yep.
because when those lights turn off,
Yeah.
we still want to be able to do everything we want to be able to do in our life and utilize it, because it's only going to be for a period of time in your life, and then it's going to be done with.
Right.
You know, some people don't think that way, and they don't realize that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I always try to tell people, and people who like come on the show, and you know, as new people, I'd be like, listen, what's the plan?
Right.
Tell me your plan.
Yeah.
You know, they always want to, I want to be like, I want to do.
Yeah,
Are
like,
you
how
willing
y'all
to put
do
in the
it? They be
work?
like,
How do y'all do this?
Yeah,
And how do you,
it's like, I mean, you on here, but what you here for?
Right.
Like, I'm not, because I mean, I say this openly, I never came to Love and Hip Hop. This was, you know, Rashida rapped. So, you know, the bad part for me was, in order for her to do the show, I had to do it with her, because nobody knew Rashida was married for 10 years.
Right.
By the time they figured out she was married, like, it was 10 years.
Right.
So it's like I had to get, because I'm laid the fuck back like a mother. Say, like, you gotta go get, I'm like, get on TV? Like, you mean what, film with her? No. That part you're not gonna get me to do. Like, I'm sorry. Like, and then it came down to, like, you know, we sitting at home and it's quiet in the house, and he's like, she like, babe, come on, you could do this. And I'm really telling babe, I can't do that.
Right.
Like, I'm scared to death. Like, I can't
and
get
then
on
that's
TV.
that yin yang shit though.
You know what I'm
Because I'm
saying?
like, but you got this.
Yeah, so
Right.
Like,
so
we're
then
a team now.
I fuck around. And then I say this, like, I finally, you know, committed to doing it with her, but I was scared as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
First time I filmed, this shit was so embarrassing. So embarrassing. I got my mic on.
Yeah.
I go upstairs in the bathroom. I'm in the mirror looking at myself, praying, Lord, please let them like me. Let me do good. I'm just praying everything. I'm praying. In Jesus' name, amen. Right?
Nigga, the whole motherfucking
So I go downstairs,
production.
right? Everybody face changed. So I'm looking around like, this shit don't got serious.
Right.
So, but my scene was a serious scene,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so I'm filming and I'm doing this shit, and I'm just, Rashida always like to kick me, speak up. You know what I'm saying? You're talking too low. You talking, you know, because I'm just a laid back, and she like, project your voice. And so she coached me like, so now it's reversed.
Right.
I used to tell her what the
What
fuck
to
to
do.
do.
Right. Now I be like,
Now
nigga,
she's telling
man
me what to do.
Right.
So I'm sitting there, so I might be talking and say, oh yeah, and I meant to tell you that, you know, when I was doing this, I had to like jump, she would just literally kick the shit out of me, and I had to like perk up. And when I finished the scene, the whole, Mona was there, Stephanie was there, everybody, they just stood up and started clapping. I'm talking about standing, it was like, yo, you just broke through. Like, and I'm sitting there like, this shit is crazy. And I'm like, oh wow, I'm nervous as shit.
Yeah.
Now, you know, this Love and Hip Hop season 1, we killing them 7, 8 million. It's popping. So I'm like, oh, this shit all right. And then you start realizing, but wait. So now you're doing all this shit and you're putting it on TV and you're doing it, and then you realize when the shit come on, you relive everything. That shit wasn't over. It just really started.
Yeah.
So, but it started on steroids, past some rocket shit out the earth. Like the people that came at you.
We never thought that show
it
would be
was
as
like,
big as it
oh
was.
my God.
So
it
that within itself is a whole nother situation, because you like, yeah, we got on TV, but this shit ended up
It's
being
like-
like a phenomenon and shit. Like, what?
So, and to say with the website and all this shit, so now we saying, yo, we moving this I'm Bossy out of here, and you know, we on I'mBossy.com, and we doing this, and we bracelets and shit. This shit hit TV, the fucking website crashed.
Yep.
So my phone is ringing, it's Phoenix, Arizona shit keep coming up. I finally answer, it's fucking GoDaddy. We gotta move you off our server. You just crashed. You know, like they shared servers with other. I had to get my own dedicated server built, ground up. We 2 weeks in the hole down. No, we selling so much. I mean, you couldn't even talk to me. My shit was bling, 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 PayPal. So I'm rushing with them to build. I'm like, well, I don't know who to build the server. They was like, we can do it for you. So I'm paying them all this money to do it, and please, we got to get up in 2-3 days. He was like, 2-3 days is impossible. A month, maybe 2. He's like, well, we gotta rush. They got some shit that they can process it where people work on it overnight. So we go for it. 2 weeks later, they like a couple of days in, 10 days, they show us the site. What you think? It's good. Let's run it. No, that's just you still got to go back and do the back work. So we get it back up. We open back up 2 weeks later. I'm thinking we don't lost the business is dead. Shit goes through the roof. So as much as they watching, talking shit, loving you, they really buying into what's going on, and the shit started. I mean, we went out the gate. I'm talking maybe, I don't know, man. I don't even want to say a number. It was let's just say the website comfortably cruises through millions per year at this point. It's our website.
Such a blessing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, and you know, it took a lot of work to get here, and we help a lot of people. Don't get me wrong. We pay a lot of taxes. A lot of that money is just not our money. It's inventory. It's insurance. It's employees. It's supplies. You know, you got to pay sales taxes. You got to pay Uncle Sam 35 cents on the dollar. So that money is just not our money. So at the end of the day, we started getting to where we pay ourselves a salary because we want to enjoy it too. Like, which part is ours? Which part ain't ours? And we came up with splits, you know, from the music to the clothes to even anything we do, we split it really
And
fair.
I do want to say this, I ain't trying to cut you off. And we do real contracts between each other.
Contracts,
Like,
yeah,
I'm
like
still signed
money,
as a music artist,
yeah,
and then
her
we
money
do
is her
deals
money, my
together,
money is my
and his
money.
money is his, mine is mine.
You
We
know,
split our money and we keep
do what
it.
the
And
fuck
that's
we want,
another
you know?
foundation part of that business thing. If
I
y'all
don't want
gonna
that
do it,
love
do it right.
shit to be like, well, since we husband and wife, you can know that's yours, this is mine, you do what the fuck you want to do. And we get on each other if we do it, we go a little excessive. And sometimes she be like, God damn, let me do what I want to do. Do I say anything about what you doing?
Right.
And I have to really kick myself in the ass and be like, shut the fuck up. She met her goal. She said what she said she was going to say.
Right.
We
And
bought
we
the
did.
property, the land, the house that we said. So every year after that, Love and Hip Hop for us has been, we take it and we do something with the money. We don't just take Love and Hip Hop checks and go buy new clothes, new shoes, and no. We buy property.
I love everything that y'all saying, that y'all not just taking the checks, right? And, you know, buying them on. So you know, Fast Out to Earn Your Leisure, assets over liabilities, right? Because I think that a lot of times people don't realize that, you know, the goal of money is not to just take the money and hoard it and stop the cycle of money. The goal of money is to change the relationship. Instead of working hard for money, money needs to work hard for you.
Yes.
And so instead of taking money and putting it all in liabilities and things that are gonna depreciate,
Right.
you take them and put them into assets. Those assets keep paying you over and over again. And in that way, y'all could get millions of dollars with your feet up, been watching Netflix, and now only work because you want to work, not because you have to. And so speaking of which, right, speaking of money, things are coming in, what would you say is the most extravagant thing you spent money on, each, you know, individually? Uh-oh.
Yo.
You know what, really, I don't know. I mean, I think we're still pretty modest, you know, honestly. I mean, one of my biggest things was I just bought him a 1970 Chevelle.
Oh,
So
okay.
Pro Touring goddamn twin turbo.
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-oh.
So that was a pretty extravagant coin.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
That was
Six-figure.
That was a six-figure gift.
Yeah.
You know, but it meant something, and
Yes.
I thought it was an amazing, and it appreciates. That's
right.
another thing.
Yeah.
Buy smart.
Yeah.
Even with jewelry and stuff, sometimes people got to understand the jewelry game too, which he's really good at. But you know, there's certain things that you should invest your money in if you're gonna buy jewelry. Know what to buy.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes people are like, oh, y'all want to go out and y'all want to buy this and buy that. Like every watch that I own has appreciated, and it's worth way more than I paid for.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
So I look at that like money in the bank.
Yep,
You know what I'm
absolutely,
saying? So
absolutely.
it's just certain things we do, and you know we have our jewelry and do our certain things. He talk about me in my pocketbook. I'm into fashion. Yeah, that shit might not appreciate, but it's just what I'm gonna do.
Right.
You know what I like? You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? I have a little bit of a, I buy sell type thing. Like, you know, if I sold a watch not that long ago. Why I sold it? I just sold it because it's sitting. You know, everything you don't always want to go to the, what's this shit here? We're right at it, the safety deposit box.
Right.
So, you know, it's like sometimes you don't always want to just go there. And I always just had this one watch laying around. I paid $28,000 for it. And I was just surfing through eBay, and I was like, damn, these shits is $55,000 now?
Yeah.
And it's just going, and it's like, it's a 41.
Man, sell that and let's go get some sheetrock for this new building. No.
So, you know, I'm just like, well, it's laying around, and I had it on. I said, but let me wear it.
Yeah.
So I wore it to the jewelry store. He was like, yo, because, you know, 41s, they don't make no more.
Yeah.
So he kept saying, let me buy the watch. I got somebody who wanted something. I said, no, I'm not selling my watch, but I knew I didn't care about it. So he was like, what if I give you 51,000 right now? Give me 51, you can have it.
Yeah.
You might pay 28,000.
Right.
Years later, shit, I don't even care about it. I just
Yeah.
got 51,000. I just took the shit and did some dumb shit with it because I didn't care.
Right.
But those are the things when you buy jewelry, like we didn't think that gold would go up so much.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we used to buying properties at this rate, and they 2 years, 3 years, 4 years later, they worth this. So that's always been a big push for us. But nice stuff, I'm gonna be honest, I thank God for the blessing because I've been able to buy nice stuff, seriously, no BS. I've had a down moments, like I said, the recession was one that kicked me in my ass, but I probably had a good 3 decades of just being able to do
what
things
you
I
want.
want to do.
But I will say this. The recession really taught us a lot. Because we was like moving around a lot, doing a lot of stuff. We had a lot of houses, we had tenants and all that type of stuff. We had credit cards and stuff. From the recession alone, we haven't owned credit cards in I don't know how many years. Like, how many years has it been?
My credit, I have that credit card that you have to have to, you know how they won't take your debit?
Right.
I have 2007.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, it's like those setbacks that happen in life sometimes. If you're focused and you understand and you look at shit as a whole sometime, then you can be like, well, you know what? I don't ever want to get myself into this situation again because shit got real ugly. It got ugly. I ain't even gonna cap.
You can't even answer your phone. And
know?
this shit is like, and I'm looking like, yo, we got all these houses, but guess what? What we learned from that, we was like, we will never, ever get in this situation again because the money that needed to go out was greater than what was coming in.
Period.
So no matter what we did, we was seeing that we could never really get out of it.
Right.
And we, like I said, we got a nice, let's just say you get your minimum check for now on is $8,000 a month.
Yeah.
Right? Because of the music stuff, just with nothing going on. Well, if you really think about it, you can really live good off of that kind of money if you manage it right. Right? But we had too many houses. Too
much
shit
we was doing. Because everybody
Buckhead
lost their jobs.
Right.
And couldn't work and couldn't pay their bills.
paid
So
rent.
we stuck with all these houses.
But what we said out of this shit is we will never let it happen again. And when we get some money, we're going to buy our house and we're going to pay for our house. So that first check we got, we couldn't buy the house, we bought the land. Because we didn't get paid a lot of, we don't get paid a lot of money.
When we first started on Love and Hip Hop, we didn't make a whole lot
But
of
we
money.
bought some land, we bought 5 acres, right? The 5 acres was like, it was like 75 grand. We bought it. We felt good. We own 5 acres. Now we could build a house on it. So now we're going into the next season and our plan is to break ground because we've been building and flipping. We're going to lay this foundation and we're going to build as much as we can as we get each check. So as we go into to start the foundation, we had to do surveys, tope holes. We needed to find out where the sewer was and the road we needed to cross belonged to the guy in the back, which was my neighbor. So I couldn't just go across his property line to get to the sewer. And I couldn't
You had to
run
get an
a
easement.
fucking 3/4 mile sewer line. That shit cost too much. So I needed an easement. And he said with me, well, I'll sell you this house. I'm selling it. And I'm looking like, I don't want to buy your house. I just want to cross your road. I just want to run my pipe across the road. And I was like, but what would you sell it for? He's like, I'll take $120,000. Write the contract. Or you gonna sell me your 5.7 acres with a house on it and it's connected to my acres too?
Right.
And the dope part about it was that was like, I think, season 2 or 3. Season 2. And every season when we started, we said, regardless, we got to do smart shit with our money. We got to do something smart.
We did some dumb shit.
We've done some dumb stuff.
We took a certain amount to blow, but we took a certain amount
to do something with. And that's what I be trying to tell people too. I be like, man, listen, if you getting a check, do something with your money. Because these checks is going to stop.
So we have a fallout plan. If we ever fall off, go broke, and ain't got nothing, guess what? We have a couple of paid for houses at this point in time.
And and I always tell people this, I know we got to wrap it up, but it's important. Like, as I look at, older people and sometimes their biggest concern is the roof over their head is paying their mortgage and stuff. But, you got to think when you're young and you out here getting money, you need to secure those type of things. We have, if all else fails and nothing else is to happen, I can go chill in my house. With no bills except your cable bills that my music money will pay for.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm cool. I ain't even got a water bill. It's a well. It's on well water.
She has a propane tank.
It's got a propane tank. I bet you could put some propane in that thing.
You got a light bill. The light bill is so cheap.
Yeah.
And I say this to say just everybody listening, like think about this. We took $120,000 of the money we made during Love and Hip Hop. While they talking about us, Kirk, you ain't shit, you ain't this, you that about shit. Guess what? motherfucker, we bought a house.
Right.
Now I got to rehab it. This is our specialty now.
Right.
You know, and I'm loving it, and I'm just building, and then I'm doing the room. And Rashida wants this big ass extravagant closet and the floors, and I'm like, babe, this shit gonna cost us more money.
Yeah.
We building. It took us a year and a half. We ain't got no money. We stopped.
Yeah.
But the house was worth like 1.2 million. We paid 125,000.
And then we built it.
Wow.
You know,
We spent the money building up, but we can literally, you know, because sometimes I get tired of the fucking property because, you know, we got other joints, and I'd be like, let's just sell all that shit.
and what I try to tell him is no, because
We
as
built it for a
parents,
reason. It was a fallout, like a shelter,
Right.
whatever we're going to use
exactly.
it for.
But I say this, as parents, you know, we have children and we've been able to, you know, work hard, make this money. I said, but at the end of the day, in the Black community, a lot of times there's nothing left for their kids. You know, we both grew up with, you know, it wasn't nothing filtered through the family.
Right,
you know,
right.
I was like, we gonna set that tone.
Right.
And our children will always have a place to live, and we're gonna make sure through wills and different things like that. Now you can't do that.
Right,
You can
right,
do this
right.
because regardless,
Exactly.
you Negroes gonna need somewhere to stay.
Exactly,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
And
we want to start
and we make
to do
them
that.
work too, by
And
the
we make
way.
them
Like
work.
our kids are not, oh yeah, they've done this and then no, you have to work. So Kai, you know, he's out, he got his own place, he gets a check. You know, Kirk,
He works at the restaurant.
Yeah, he works
Yep.
at the restaurant. Kelsey is a bartender, you know, and they make good money. Like I don't want to put their numbers out there, but
Right.
we have servers who leave out of there with very good money.
Yeah.
Very good money.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that we was able to create a whole bunch of jobs doing Frost Bistro. Again,
Yeah. So talk to us about the restaurant. What was the genesis of that? How did that get started?
That restaurant
That
was on the
vision
vision
board.
board at that old house that we still own. That's
Right.
connected to them 11 acres.
Whoa.
And
You know, you
it
check
was
them
one of
off.
his. It was one of his goals,
Yeah.
one of his dreams, things that he wanted to accomplish. And you know, he always been, you know, had my back.
Yeah.
And when he was like, "Yo, I think now's the time," after us doing press and then opening another press in Houston and still having the online and all of that being successful, he wanted to dig into something. And I was like, you know what? Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do what you want to do.
You know why I love that so much? Because a lot of times people have these. So people, first of all, people don't understand the power of vision.
Right.
Like y'all talking about a 20-year-old vision board
Yes.
that y'all still check, like y'all still working.
We still look at it.
All right.
Yeah.
Still checking them off.
She'da gonna get that number one
Show me
record.
your number
She
one
gonna
record.
get it.
Right.
She gonna get it, right? She gonna
Right.
get it. And so 20 years later, you still checking stuff off. Which you said earlier, right? Patience. You got to be patient.
Yes.
Like stop. Like don't put the vision up there, and because it's not happening as fast as you want, you know what? Forget that and start
Exactly.
damning your vision.
That's
right?
right.
So I love that. And so, what advice, right? Because you know it depends on what eye you're looking at, right? So the pandemic, all this stuff is happening. Like, what advice would you give somebody who is, an entrepreneur who's starting a business during tough times, right? Y'all been through the recession. Like, what advice would you give anybody as an entrepreneur as they try to navigate through everything that's happening?
Really figure out what you want to do. Be sure it's something you really want to do. Don't
that you got
do
a passion
it.
for.
Yeah, because right now we live in there. If your friend do it, I'm gonna do it too.
Or if I see them doing it on the gram, I can
I'ma
probably do
it
that too.
You know, a lot of that shit is cliche. I mean, to me, it's like a lot of times they don't even know what they really want to do. You know, you're like, and this is the thing that I want to say with Rashida. And there's no disrespect for them, but like, Rashida got people who work in our stores, right? Literally work in the stores, and you a worker. And you're starting a boutique and you work in our store.
Yeah.
What type of shit is that?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Can you find something else to do sometime? And I think those are the things that I mean. Like, don't just do it because Rashida did it or
Right.
such and such did it.
Right.
Do it because that's what you really want to do. Like, we have a worker in our store who really can draw clothes, who really can
she's
design
amazing.
clothes, who's really amazing, who we took on our wing, and she's like one of our designers for our own pieces. And we do stuff people have no even clue that there's things that's out. You know, to be honest with you, we do stuff. This is what D-Lo is about, and I'll reveal that here because we're D-Lo. People are like, what is D-Lo? D-Lo. I'm just a low key nigga. I don't like all my shit to be on Broadway. Usually the car that I'm showing you on TV is not the fucking car I'm driving.
Right.
That's just me. I'm a Harlem nigga, right? So they don't never really understand what the fuck I mean.
Right. Yeah.
But D-Lo is, guess what? Yeah, there's a lot of girls with boutiques and a lot of people with shit, but guess what? You're carrying Rasheeda's clothes because you don't know they're hers. That's D-Lo. You see what I'm saying? That's my low-key shit.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when they know it's you, they hate. So I
That's a big
smile
bar.
so much because we sell out of so much shit and it's in everybody's boutique, but it's ours. So that's D-Lo. You get what I'm saying? So again, and we don't tell all, because you tell somebody and they run with your idea.
Absolutely.
They want to take it and do what you do. And and I had to learn, to shut the fuck up sometimes.
Be the plug and the outlet.
Because you're not, you know what? It's gotten real crazy out here. They wanted it and they want to just run and can do. Because sometimes you might not even be in a predicament to do what you want to do. You just you vent to your peoples, and and we got a great circle, mind you. We support each other and everything, so that's great. But you got these people who you can't work in my joint and do what we do, and it's just a lot that go on. But the blessings is you give, you're gonna receive.
Yes.
If you really want to do it, really be about doing it.
And that's what I would say to people who want to start a business.
Right.
I talk to people, and I talk at a lot of business seminar, women empowerment, but I tell people, I be like, if you gonna half-ass do it, don't do it at all.
Yeah, don't do it.
You know
at
what I'm
all.
saying?
Yeah.
But when you put your all into something and you're really going hard for it, and you know in your mind, and you don't let no haters distract you, people try to down talk you and push you in the wrong direction. Stay focused on what it is you want. God is going to see that and it'll manifest, whether that's the path you're supposed to go in, or if you're going to walk a path and then take a turn because it's really setting you up to go to where you're trying to go.
Right.
But the thing is, you got to practice your patience. You got to be real about the shit that you're doing. You got to believe in yourself, and you have to understand to make sacrifices
You
and
gotta
to
take the
take
biggest
chances.
risk.
You got to take the risk. You can't sit there. You know what I can't stand? I can't stand when somebody be like, man, all I need you to do is post for me. You know what?
Yeah.
I needed some niggas to post for me too, and they didn't. But guess what? I still made it happen for myself.
Right. Absolutely.
I didn't even know what a post was, nigga, back in the day.
We didn't
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Think about this.
Yeah.
We're around all these people, right?
Yeah.
Y'all know we going with the pandemic, what we just all went through, right?
Right.
Everybody's getting unemployment.
Yep.
They're getting unemployment. They're getting the check. They're getting, what's the insurance shit we paying everybody?
Yeah.
So you got everybody getting
Insurance.
$600 plus their unemployment, $900 a week,
Right.
6,
Then they
7
got their
months.
stimulus.
Then they got stimulus, right?
Right.
Now, you had all these dreams about if you had the money, you would do this, right?
Yeah.
I seen so many niggas get money, and guess what they all did? Stood in major clothing line brand lines around the corner.
Like Preston's and Phipps, honey. I'll go get ready to walk in Press, turn
No
around and look
disrespect
at
to the other
about
brand.
300 niggas in line at Gucci.
But
no disrespect.
This is what y'all do
But-
with your money.
Right.
This is what, but
During
you,
the pandemic,
but you
but you
like,
got these
but
dreams.
I need to start my business.
Yeah.
All I need is somebody. All you need to do is get your ass out the Gucci line,
Right.
and go focus
Save
on
that
what it is
check
you're trying
that
to do.
you're getting
You know
every
what I'm saying?
single week. Pay
Right.
your bills, let
Absolutely.
your money stack. If you needed 10 bands, you
Yeah.
think about it. You're getting $1,000 a week.
Yeah.
10 weeks,
Tell
and,
me,
and bruh,
you got
we
this for
own a
6
business.
months.
That's 14 to 18 weeks
Right.
of free money.
Right.
You got your money and some spending money.
Right.
So I,
But you don't want to put in the work.
And then it's like people look at you, but they want you
For real.
to invest in them. And then I seen you get the bread, but you didn't want to put $2 behind yourself. But you got these bright ass ideas, and you want me to listen to them?
Right. When you're not
can't.
investing in yourself, how can you
So
expect?
how you want to spend somebody else or anything to happen, you won't even invest in you.
Right.
Think about what you say. If
Yeah.
you're going to be an entrepreneur, you want to get yourself off the ground, you have to save, you have to believe, and you got to really do it.
And have discipline and have
Yes.
patience.
Patience.
Yes.
Yep.
Patience.
I love it. I love
Really
it.
do what you say.
And then so, to those people also who might have a 9-to-5, who want to be a business owner, who have a side hustle, what advice would you give to that side hustler, that person who's in that transition space?
First thing I would say is I've been there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still there. We work to this day.
I mean, we
Hard.
work, but it's at a different level because I know what you're saying. But I always tell people, never leave your secure money until your hustle becomes a real income for you, to where you can maintain your lifestyle and live,
Yes.
and you don't have to have that 9-to-5.
Yes.
I always tell people, I advise you, don't leave your 9-to-5
Right.
if your shit ain't connecting, bro. Don't do it. Keep working your entrepreneur job or whatever it is, your side hustle,
Yep.
until
Yep.
it really manifests for you. If it never does, that means it might need to be
It
something else you
will.
need to
If
be
you
doing.
work hard, it will.
But if you work hard and you're doing what's right,
Yeah.
It will.
it's going to work for you. But
Absolutely.
practice that patience.
Absolutely.
And
Love it.
speaking things into existence, if
Firm
you
believer of
really say it it will really happen if you truly believe it.
Yes.
The only thing that has not happened, and you know what I'm going to say, is she can answer for me, that I said I'm going to do
Yes.
is
Hit the lottery.
But you are the lottery though, so that's probably why it
And
happened.
I just had this thing. I just always knew I was going to hit the lottery.
Because when the shit was just $650, I was like, babe, you about to hit this. It's over.
I was like,
it's going down.
One of the things I said I was going to do. So I'm just waiting for the day when I hit the lottery.
Hit the lottery. That's it.
But I love we hard workers.
Yes.
I don't want to be funny. You know, I work on a website to this day. I have parts she does as well.
Yes.
You know.
And I will say this, and then we're going to get out of here. But I will say this. But you also do have to understand, like how you say, you know, work don't make the money. You know what I'm
instead of working for money, make money work for you. Yeah.
But you got to understand when that comes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sometimes people be thinking a little beside themselves to be like, oh, I can sit back and relax now. And that could be the demise of your business because we're very hands-on and we work hard for the fact that once we know it's there and you know it as a business owner, then you can sit back and relax. We have a business. Yes, I'm sitting here with you, and I've made some thousands of dollars.
Right. Them striping PayPals. Yeah.
So that's one thing.
Right.
But I don't want to. I'm chilling now. I'm continuing, and I'm continuing these streams.
Absolutely.
And then as we work hard and we connect that, then we can say, okay, now we can sit back and all of this is all good.
And there's a
but
goal
we're a work in
for us.
progress. You know.
You know, I have a 4-year plan where I want to be able to just travel and go on vacations. All my businesses are now actively. I got the right management team, the right workers. We don't have to stand over it. So the new the new vision, we're actually opening a brand new online store. Online is the biggest winner for us, so we're opening an online store.
We're not opening an online store. We're opening the warehouse and bringing everybody in.
So that's everybody gets to know this first. Everybody, with the new building, what's going on? Why did y'all get it? It's actually going to be press. Because press has gotten to a point now where it needs its own dedicated workers to fulfill the things we need, because we kind of shoo it to the side, but it's like one of our biggest money makers, and it's like time to give it what it needs. And that was our goal. Even though the pandemic hit, our money focus was from this season, we're gonna open press, own standalone location. You own the real estate. You're not renting, you know, and that was our goal. And, you know, and luckily the right property came about, you know, and it cost us a pretty penny. And I love the fact we're on 14th Street. We look at skyscrapers and, you know, but I feel like, you know, things happen when it's supposed to, you know, and I'm really happy for us to be getting there. Like I said, I want to hurry up and get it open because I'm so used to, you know, I'm a numbers guy. I'm a hustler. I learned how to. So I'm the math, I'm the budgets. Everything gets a budget. Press in Atlanta get a budget. Press in Houston get a budget. Press online get a budget. Frost Bistro get a budget. You know, I look at what the sales was, what did we pay out, what the payroll is, what was the light, gas, water, this is what we can spend this week, and this got to go into savings. So when I'm looking at the new build, I'm looking at everything funds it until it becomes its own living beast and begins to go. So that means a lot of stuff for us change, but, you know, we're lucky to be in a predicament to have a little bit of coins we've saved. You know, but I'll say this, if we don't work, things will change for us too.
And that's just, like I said, knowing when you can really kick back. Because I can kick back and we could be cool with that, but you still have to work and push and promote. Exactly. It ain't there yet, but we'll know when we there. And until we get there, work hard for your shit.
Whew. Like, I absolutely love this. You know, so Valentine's Day, talk to us. Y'all got something special happening in Frost Bistro. What's happening on Valentine's Day?
We're going to do something for the guys and the women. Like, we're just going to do like a Valentine's Day. For us, we're going to be together, of course. We're going to enjoy Valentine's Day, but we're going to sit down, have dinner, and drink some wine and just...
We do these little love packages, things that people, you know, that people do. They like. We did it last year. It's, you know, the little couples thing, and they get the champagne and this little strawberries with their little meal, and they get to sit down and chill, and then we'll come take pictures with them and shit. It's cute.
Because you can't never really get in anywhere on Valentine's Day. You got to the day
hard,
before,
you know?
the day after. So we try to do something where we really, you know, select few, and it's just something nice that we love to do.
And there's some people who have certain situations going on in their relationships,
Proposing.
whether it's proposals or different things or
so
whatever.
it's
Some
not
dudes
cool.
be like, man, I'm trying to get back in good with my girl, man. Y'all come on, let me get it.
Dude,
So, you know, we'll do
that's
some
like
shit,
my girl want to come to y'all joint. Can we please get,
Man, I
we
need
get
some
a
points.
lot of.
Let her come. Hey, Rashida gonna be there. Kirk, y'all come on. You know, little cool shit like that. So
That's
we
real
just
cool, man.
we
We
just like to
appreciate
see our people and
Yes.
you know provide
Elevating.
a great place for people to come to, and it's an upscale / amazing vibe, and you know.
Like, I really enjoy this conversation so much. All right, so what we do, we're inside the vault. We have a lightning round. And what we do is we take banking terms, we throw it out, and then you just give us the first thing that comes to you or, based on the definition. So the first one I'm going to start with is deposit slip, right? Deposit slip, and when you go into the bank, is normally where you put money into the bank. But for us, deposit slip is what is the time that you messed up, you slipped up with money, right? What was your biggest deposit slip?
Oh, deposit slip.
Yeah.
That was good. What would I say? What would be a big deposit slip?
We slipped on. We should have purchased D-Lo Studios, that building.
Oh my God. Yes.
We
You're right.
we knew we should have bought it.
Yeah.
We procrastinated.
We did.
And that whole area just we fucked
And
up.
we wanted it, but we didn't really understand the importance of us really
Owning the
securing it
property.
and owning it.
Yeah.
And we just let it go, and it was a big mistake. So that was a big mistake.
All right, number 2, charge off, right? And so you borrow money from the bank, if you don't pay them back, they charge it off, after a certain amount of time. But for us inside the vault, charge off is what type of people or mindsets that you had to charge off during your journey.
The negative mindsets, and I had to learn, like, if a person isn't an uplifting, good spirit, or I can grab something from you, or you uplifting me, and I'm not saying every single minute of the day, but we got to be able to relate. And if you're a down, drab, negative ass, don't want to see a nigga win type of person, I can't do it. I just can't. My time's too valuable, and I just can't do it.
Same for me. I have to be able to have conversations with people who understand where I want to go, where I see you trying to go. And, coming from Harlem, coming from the streets, sometimes those conversations are good to listen to when we were kids, when we used to hustle.
Right.
But why are we talking about that now when, we're talking about real estate and owning your home and
Buying stocks and
buying
shit.
stocks and just doing 401ks. And I just, like, when I hear, like, you really want me to sit here and have this long conversation about, oh, buddy is still getting them things and he getting money and he looking. It's like I find myself almost sliding off and can't wait till I get out that conversation. And guess what? If I see your ass, I'm going the other way.
Charging
So I charge all that up. No disrespect.
Right.
But I feel like sometimes we got to realize, listen, we've all grown.
Absolutely.
We was 17, 18, 19, 20. Dude, we grown men with kids. I got grandkids.
Right.
My mind said that's charged off.
Right.
I'm not there anymore. I can't. The bad part is I can't relate. I'm sorry. I love you as a friend. You my dog. But I can't relate to that. And you got to have that with the other nigga who's standing on the corner with you.
Right. All right. Last but not least, trust account, right? So trust account is where, we all wish we would trust fund babies where that money, is there for you. But who are part of your trust account? When I say trust account, these are people who are part of your team or people who, family, whatever. But like when you think about your trust account, who are the people that are there that do uplift you while you, on your journey?
For me, I mean, my trust account, I have a few friends that are very influential and just positive, like Orlando is one. Definitely, we have these power circles with Rashida, Candy, Toya, Toby, and Carmen. They like Carmen got her insurance agency. Toby has the Fox Pro doing the painting. GoPro. Just entrepreneurs, people doing things like, you watching them come from.
And then us being able to facilitate business to each other, which
it's like
is
she
that's
do
what
my
you
walls,
want to do.
she does my insurance, and I just seeing them grow and become, we were friends, but just to see how they all have grown and turned into, it's like I feel like that's what I love to be around.
All right, y'all. There you have it. Valentine's Day special. Kirk and Rasheeda Frost. This was an amazing, amazing interview. Make sure y'all share this, y'all like this, y'all tell everybody about this, because at the end of the day, not only on Valentine's Day, this is the blueprint to sustainable wealth, sustainable love, the family that builds together. I was gonna try to find something that rhymes, but I can't. But telling people where they can find you.
Build together, live together.
Hey,
Chill together.
Chill together. Bars. Look.
Wheels together.
Right, wheels together. Right, we got the bars. So telling people where they can find. I mean, they know where they can find. They can do their Googles, but where can people find you if they want to connect with you?
Instagram, I'm at Rashida. Come to Frost Bistro. We're open Thursday through Sunday. And Pressed in Atlanta, located at Phipps Plaza. Soon, a new location of Press coming to 14th Street in the next about 30 days. Or you might just fall up in the gallery in Houston and see me posted up and Press in the Galleria. You feel me?
Yeah, I'm Frost117. If you just type Kirk Frost, you're going to find my Instagram. Rashida, you're Rashida Frost on Facebook.
Oh, yeah,
you're
I'm Rashida Frost on
at Rashida on Twitter.
Yep.
I mean, pretty much so easy to find.
And soon to be back on TV, so.
Oh, yeah, we got a new show coming.
We got a new
too.
show coming.
Yeah, new
Actually,
show.
like in 3 weeks or something, right?
No, not 3 weeks, because the
No, 6 weeks.
Couples Retreat.
It's called Couples Retreat on
Couples
VH1.
Retreat.
It'll be coming on Monday nights or something very soon.
Yes.
So be looking out for
And
that.
then we're back to filming Love and Hip Hop
Atlanta.
shortly. Yes.
Dope. All right, y'all, you know where you heard it first. Again, thank y'all so much for tapping in, tuning in Inside the Vault with Ash Cash. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all next episode. Peace.
Peace.